Hello guys, in this video I'll be explaining the concept of bonus tolerance. What exactly do we mean bonus tolerance in GD&T and how is it bonus? Let's understand this with an example as shown over here, where a feature of size is being controlled with respect to its perpendicularity within a tolerance zone, within a cylindrical tolerance zone of 3 at maximum material condition with respect to datum feature A, which is this surface. This surface is datum feature A, and the size of that pin is nominal is 20 and size tolerance is plus or minus 1. Now this perpendicularity control which has been applied is exaggerated. It is not realistic for such a part which is having a size tolerance of 1 and a perpendicularity tolerance of 3. But it is to understand the concept of bonus tolerance. We will make parts as per this drawing and we will understand what exactly is bonus tolerance in the context of an assembly. Very important word is the context of an assembly. When we are having assembly, then only the concept of bonus tolerance makes sense. And when we apply maximum material condition, it's mostly in the case when that feature of size has to be assembled with another feature of size on the counterpart or another part in the assembly. So when assembly has to take place between two features of size, maximum material condition modifier is used, and when maximum material condition modifier is used, bonus tolerance applies. So let us say we made the parts or fabricated the parts as per the drawing. Now here are three parts which are made as per the drawing, and this part is made close to MMC, that is maximum material condition, the size of the pin being the largest. This is close to nominal. Of course it cannot be exactly nominal because these are manufactured parts, they cannot be perfect. So it is close to nominal, and this is close to LMC. So if we compare LMC and MMC, we can see that there is considerable size difference. This is maximum size, this is minimum size. Now the perpendicularity of the pins as shown, so this is datum feature A, this surface is datum feature A, and this is the pin. So the perpendicularity of the pin is not varying by much. But what if we are considering the maximum variation of the perpendicularity of these pins and see how they assemble with a gauge block that is in a hole. So let's say if we are having parts like this, you can see the deviation in the perpendicularity. It is having considerable deviation in the perpendicularity, which is close to the value mentioned in the feature control frame, which is 3 mm. Considering that the perpendicularity deviation is 3 mm, we have made the fabricated parts, and so these are three sizes. This is LMC, this is nominal, and this is MMC, the size of the pin. So the size of the pin as measured with the vernier caliper is MMC, close to MMC, close to nominal, and close to LMC, least material condition. Now let's say if we are having a gauge block, a counterpart which is to be which is having a hole inside it, and the size of this hole is nothing but the virtual condition. The size of this hole is nothing but the virtual condition, and we are trying to assemble these three parts. So again, this is LMC, this is nominal, close to nominal, this is MMC. So if we are assembling the part which is close to MMC and which is having the maximum perpendicularity deviation, so this is the assembly of the two parts. You can see the gap over here, and the gauge block does not move much. Whereas if you assemble the part which is having size near to nominal, the gap is more. The gauge block can move more. But if you take the LMC size and assemble, you can see the gap is a lot more than the MMC. So again, comparing LMC and MMC, so this is LMC and this is MMC. this is LMC, and this is MMC. So you can see that the gap is a lot less in MMC pin as compared to LMC. What this basically means is that we are allowed additional deviation in its perpendicularity. That means the perpendicularity of this pin can vary more than whatever it's varying right now and still assemble with the gauge block, with this gauge block. So perpendicularity variation allowed is more for an LMC pin as compared to an MMC pin. For MMC, it cannot vary more in its perpendicularity. You can see it's touching over here, and it cannot vary more than its than what it is varying now and still be assembled with the gauge block. Whereas in LMC, you can see that this gap is much larger. It can vary a lot more. So you can see this gap is much larger in LMC as compared to in MMC. It is much smaller. So this is what is bonus tolerance. You can deviate, or you are allowed to deviate the perpendicularity or the geometrical control. In this case, it's perpendicularity. It can be position control as well. You are allowed to deviate the perpendicularity a lot more when the size of the pin is smaller. It is close to LMC. When the size of the pin is larger, the amount of deviation in perpendicularity becomes lesser. Hence, if a part is manufactured away from MMC, is manufactured at LMC, it will have more bonus tolerance, and that bonus tolerance is in the context of assembly. It is only in the context of assembly, so that the assembly takes place. That is a very important key point when we are defining bonus tolerance. Bonus tolerance is in the context of assembly. If the assembly has to take place, we can have more deviation in the perpendicularity of an LMC part as compared to that of an MMC part, so that it still assembles. That is what is the meaning of bonus tolerance. So from the demonstration, it is clear that bonus tolerance is more deviation which you are afforded to have as the size of the feature moves away from MMC in this case. As it becomes smaller and smaller, the more deviation in its perpendicularity is allowed, or if position control is applied, the more deviation in its position is allowed. Important point to note is that if this pin was not being assembled into a counterpart hole or internal feature of size, if the main requirement for the part of the component is precision, accuracy and precision of the feature, in that case, this perpendicularity control, the bonus tolerance, is not considered as bonus. The bonus tolerance is only considered as bonus when we are having an assembly counterpart. When we have precision or accuracy as the main requirement for a feature, then we should not use maximum material condition modifier. So it is clear. We use maximum material condition modifier when the feature of size has to be assembled with the counterpart. And when it has to be assembled with the counterpart, as the size of the pin becomes smaller, more deviation in its geometrical control is allowed, whether it's perpendicularity or position. And hence that additional deviation which is allowed is called as bonus tolerance. So this has to be clear, that bonus tolerance is only in the context of assembly. If you found this video interesting, please give a like to the video, and also if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I am planning to upload a lot more videos on GD&T, StackUp, and many other topics in design engineering. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next video.